year for Papi's 59th birthday. It was the day after Hurricane Sandy, and we actually had a nice evening at a restaurant, even though most of New York was underwater. I remember thinking, wow, next year is going to be Papi's 60th birthday, and I really wanted to plan something extra for the old man because it was his 60th birthday. It's a milestone birthday, but not just that, he's my father, and he's turning 60. Unfortunately, as most of you know, Mom suffered a stroke in September, and we've all been pretty occupied watching over her health, and that made it a little difficult to plan anything. Fortunately, we did manage to gather a few of you guys together to help celebrate a 60-year-old crazy Mexican man's life.
No Mexican, he's not Mexican.
Shut your face!
If you didn't know that Papi is Mexican, or that somehow, according to Papi, in one way or another, we all are Mexican, then you're not really a part of the family.
He go away.
Nevertheless, we're happy to have you here with us to help celebrate the Mexican's life. It's unfortunate that we don't usually celebrate people until we've lost them. Too often we hear a beautiful speech about someone we love at a wake, and I suppose that's better than airing their dirty laundry, but why not celebrate them while they're alive, so they can... So tonight, in these few minutes, I want to celebrate my father. I want him to hear how much of an amazing impact he's had on my life, and I hope to remind you each of a special way that he may have impacted yours. More importantly, I want to remind him that he has made a beautiful difference and touched many lives in many beautiful ways. Woo! Although my memory is not the best, I have plenty of beautiful memories about my childhood. Specifically, I remember falling in love with life, with people, with music. I know today that my passion for life developed because as children, my father encouraged my brothers and I to dream and to believe that we could be anything we wanted to be. No matter the obstacles, no matter the circumstances, I can still hear him now. Don't be a little woman, be a man. Yes, my father was the originator of politically incorrect. I don't think I ever heard anything about girl power growing up in my house. Nevertheless, the confidence that those motivational speeches help promote is the reason some of you here tonight are familiar with the phrase, don't argue with him, he's a cruise. The cruisers know everything. Growing up, believing you can be anything you put your mind to helps to promote a healthy appetite for life that I have yet to quench. So thank you, Papi, for helping me to believe in myself and to believe in the good in others as well. I also learned to love people, all sorts of people, from all walks of life. I say this because, you see, there was a hint of racism in our family. My mother's father, whom I happen to be named after, had a particular disdain for people of color. My father, however, made it clear that good and bad people alike can be found in all cultures and all races, and that we should judge individuals by their acts and not by the color of their skin or because of their religion. It's one thing to read the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but it's much more important to see your own father bringing those words to life and realizing those truths firsthand. So thank you, Papi. Watching you interact with others, watching you listen attentively to their problems, offering selfless advice, I learned to believe that the most important investment we can make in life is our investment in each other. That together, although there are many details my father and I still argue over, we'll just call them philosophical differences, we can still accomplish anything together. That no one is better than you, but that you are not better than anyone either. Although some may believe that some of us cruisers struggle with that latter part. I learned that all life should be respected, all cultures or religions or beliefs, no matter how they may differ from our own views. I learned to love my brothers, a gift I will forever be grateful for. You see, growing up, you didn't have a choice. I remember being forced to hug any one of my brothers for hours, in the middle of the living room, immediately after some retarded argument, until we smiled at each other or something crazy happened. You couldn't choose to dislike your brother. You were your brother's keeper, and that was that. If the youngest fucked up, we were all responsible. Something I'm sure Ozzy, being the oldest, couldn't have been too thrilled about.
Damn, that answers a lot.
But it forced us to take care of each other. It forced us to pay attention to what the others were doing. that in itself caused our relationships to be stronger than most because our individual well-being was dependent on that of our brothers. I remember as kids crossing an old bridge that crossed the Harlem River. It was closed, so in order to get to the top of the bridge, we had to climb from underneath to the top. Something Ozzy and I had done a couple of times. However, this time we had our 60's with us. So we're climbing up the side of the bridge, and there's like a highway, and there's like a highway underneath us, or over the river, and our 60's is hanging off the side of the bridge, and he's having trouble getting up, and he's crying like, "I'm gonna die! Somebody help me! Please save me!" All right. I don't really remember if he was crying, as the Mexican would say, like a little girl. It just sounds better that way. But I remember that it was crazy. And when we finally got him up, I remember thinking, it's a good thing he didn't fall, because if he did, then Ozzy and I would have had to jump off the bridge too. Whenever we went anywhere as kids, Papi always said, come back together or don't come back. All these years later, with all our differences in so many ways, all of your children, Papi, are still an image of those 3 kids on that bridge, unwilling to let the other fall over. I know the rest of my brothers, as well as myself, have carried that sense of being our brother's keepers beyond that of our own brothers, and have offered a similar affection to an extended family of brothers that you see here today, and that you have in turn accepted as your own adopted children. You did that, so thank you. I remember you painting on the sidewalk in front of the world-famous Crazy House so that we could be kids and play. I remember you gathering all the neighborhood kids and either running us all around the block or chasing us with a stick or taking the 20 of us to the park. I have distinct memories of how it seemed all the kids felt safe with you and that everyone received equal and fair treatment regardless of whether any of those kids were having a problem with your own children. Simple yet invaluable lessons of equality that I'm certain I will take to my grave. Again, I want to say thank you for those things. I remember falling in love with music. Anyone who has taken a ride with the old man in any one of his cars has heard the old man bang out some awesome tunes. I remember as if it was just yesterday, sitting in the back of one of your many vehicles, listening to you bring those songs to life. I remember you encouraging us to sing with you. You taught us to love music. Barry Manilow, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Neil Diamond, Neil Sedaka. I miss the hungry years, the once upon a times, the lovely long ago, we didn't have a dime. Those days of me and you, we lost along the way. How could I be so blind, not to see the doors closing on the world I now hunger for? Looking through my tears, I miss the hungry years. That love of music has been an amazing gift. Whether I sound good or not, like my children all seem to think I don't sound good. There's something magical about singing along aloud with a song. It's liberating. I see the faces of others that don't know that joy, that don't know what it's like to be in a restaurant with your family and just fucking jamming. Too bad for them, because that shit is magic. You did that for me, and I know that you've done that so much and so much more for many of us here tonight. I can go on all night, and I know that many people here would have a problem with that. But this was important for me. I've heard many times from this Mexican we're celebrating tonight, if you love someone, you have to show them when they're alive. You have to tell them while you have them with you. And so I wanted to show you, and I wanted to tell you, thank you for your kisses, for your hugs, for listening, for your honest and selfless advice, for your songs, for being our father. We all love you, and you have left an amazing impression on our lives. Your children and your grandchildren have all been very fortunate to have a father like you. That everyone in this room, and many that are not here tonight, have all been very lucky to have had their paths cross with yours. And that we all look forward to a future with you in it, for as long as God will have it, and beyond that as well. Last night, the Mexican told a few of my brothers and I to be grateful for the mistakes we made, because they provide an opportunity to learn. So cheers to a future where we all will learn from our mistakes
and when we don't dwell on those fucking mistakes, because they definitely don't help. Happy birthday, puppy.